Okay, I don't know if I am the host yet. And I don't know if that matters. You do not have to be tech savvy to do new skin. I'm just gonna throw that out there. So Tori is at volleyball and she's recording for us because myself, Melissa, and Tammy all don't know how to do that still. No, and that's okay. Okay, it is 8 o'clock though. I do want to start on time. And obviously, you can always watch this back. We are recording, so you can watch it back yourself. You can tag your teams and dream team in this later on if they weren't able to get on tonight. I know it's a busy time, even just a couple weeks until school gets really, really busy for everyone. So, first and foremost, I want to introduce myself. My name is Danny Pine. I am a team elite out of Ontario, Canada, and I am joined tonight by two of my favorite people. Melissa Freeze and Tammy Prosser. They have been with me since the beginning of this business, you guys. I started 4 years ago, and a little backstory about myself. So I actually went to school to be a developmental service worker. So I was an educational assistant for 10 years back in my hometown of London. And of course, the year that I got hired full time with the school board, I met my now husband. So I ended up moving about 3 hours away to live with him in the Niagara Falls region. And when I moved here, all I kept hearing was, it's impossible to get on the school board here. It's impossible. And I thought to myself, well, shoot, we want to start a family after we get married. And how am I going to provide for our family if I don't have a stable income? And thinking of getting back on a supply list, which I was doing for years before at the school board in London, I was thinking, oh my gosh, I can't keep doing this. I can't go back on a supply list and, raise a family. So I thought I had the wonderful idea of starting a home daycare. And that takes a different breed of person. I will tell you that much. So I did the home daycare for 3.5 years. The majority of that time, I wasn't even a mom. So I was literally just taking care of other people's children all day. I love kids. So it was something that did come very natural to me, but it was definitely a grind, you guys. I was in one small room with 5 or 6 kids every single day, 12-hour days, and not making very much money whatsoever. So when I got pregnant with my little guy, I thought to myself, you know what? I got to stick this out because at the end of the day, at least I don't have to pay someone else to raise my child. And that was always my dream. Thank you, Melissa. You're so sweet. That was always my dream, was to be a very, very present mom. I always actually said I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And now I realize that it wasn't a stay-at-home mom, it was a work-from-home mom, because I do not believe in this whole, like, the man is supposed to be the breadwinner. He has to carry all the financial burden. I don't like that at all. It's 2024, women empowerment. We can make money too, and we can help provide for our families. So I was approached by one of the parents that brought her children to my daycare and said, she basically said, like, but you're struggling every day. I can see you struggling. When I was pregnant, I had a very, very bad pregnancy. I was extremely ill, but I knew I had to get up and get into that daycare every single day because I had 5 or 6 families depending on me. So I stuck it out. I did what I needed to do. And, she had quit her job in dental hygiene to solely do Nu Skin. And I thought she was crazy. I was like, you're nuts. Like, you have a great job making 6 figures a year. Why would you leave that to, like, sell toothpaste on Facebook? I thought she was bananas. But at the end of the day, I realized after saying no for 18 months, you guys, 18 months, I said no. I struggled financially. My husband and I, things were crashing all around us. We had to put our house up for sale. I couldn't even afford the essential things for my baby, which makes me sick to my stomach to this day that I waited so long, even knowing that I wasn't able to afford those essentials for him. And finally put up that first post. I just, like, went for it. And looking back, I'm so mad that I waited those 18 months, because I can assure you, if you have those same reservations as I did, there's got to be some kind of catch. There's no way this could be free. There's got to be some kind of, risk involved or some kind of strings attached. There really isn't. You get to decide how much or how little you want to put into this business. It is totally up to you. I am not at all the person that anyone that I grew up around would think would do something like this. I am a complete introvert, believe it or not, complete introvert. My team knows this. When I used to do calls like this near the beginning, I only wore high neck shirts like this because I would break out in hives all over my chest. I would literally break out in hives. I would do a shot of some kind of alcohol before getting on these calls because I'd be scared shitless. Okay. Now this is just second nature to me. Now I know that it's my due diligence to help other women or men just like me who didn't think they could do it, but you really, really can. And this can be the vehicle to literally change your entire life. Like I said, I am a team elite, which means I've been blessed to reach, our organization has been blessed to reach the top 1% of the company. The financial flexibility that this has given me and my family is unmatched. Like I said, I've always wanted to be a present mom. I didn't want someone else taking my child to school. I didn't want someone else going on his field trips. I didn't want someone else being there for his first steps or his first words. I wanted to be that person. I will never be okay with a boss telling me when I cannot spend time with my family. It just doesn't sit well with me, and I'll never, ever have that life. So, Nu Skin has been the vehicle for me to be able to choose what I do with my time, how I spend my time. And again, I can put as much or as little into this. Obviously, financially, I'm going to be rewarded for how much or how little I put into this. Okay. So basically, that's it for me in a nutshell. I am so humbled and blessed with Nu Skin. I'm actually wearing a shirt that Tori got me. It says Paris on it. This is where our next success trip is that every single person on this call can earn. Okay. This would be my 13th trip with Nu Skin in the last four years. And you guys, my first trip, you get 6 full months to earn a trip. I only had 2.5 months to earn the first trip, which was Hawaii. And I was like, there's not a chance. Nope, no way. I had to flip my mindset into thinking, I'm going to freaking Hawaii. I'm bringing my husband to Hawaii. This is going to be the best trip of our lives. And I earned that trip in 5 weeks. You can do it. You really can do it if you put your mind to it. And if you're on this call, I just want to first and foremost congratulate you for taking that step, and you can be on that trip with us. Okay. So I am going to do a little Q&A with these two beauties that are on the call with me tonight. They are complete opposites, and that's why I thought it would be so fun to do this together. Like, people that are on this call that know them know they are complete opposites, but sometimes opposites attract. And I think that they will just bring so much value to everyone that's here on this call tonight. So I have 6 questions, and I just want them to answer them in short form answers, and you guys can hear from them as well. Okay. So first question, honestly, I just want you both to tell a little bit about yourselves, just like I did. So Melissa, Tammy, whoever wants to go first, give her. Are you guys waiting each other out? What's going on here? There we go. Okay. I was like, holy crap, who's waiting each other out here?
This is like a Canadian thing. We're just like both, oh, no, you go, no, you go, no, you go.
We really didn't practice this, you guys, so at least you know that this is just going to be speaking from the heart.
Well, Tammy's on now, so that's amazing. I was flipping back to the other chat because she couldn't even get on. So it's like the blind leading the blind here. It's like, it's a train wreck. Okay, so I'm Melissa Fries. I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I started the business 4 years ago. I was Danny's first ever executive. Didn't know her from a hole in a wall. She had somebody, I'll get into that a little bit later, but we had a mutual friend in common that had put up a post, and that's how Danny came into my life. I used to work in insurance full time before doing this. I was a bodily injury adjuster. So day in, day out, I heard sob stories of people injured and fought with lawyers for money and settlements. And yeah, like I said, I've been doing this for 4 years, and I got out of insurance. I've been doing it. How long, Danny, now would it be? I think I was only a year of doing both, and then 3 years of doing this and only this solely. I have a 18-year-old. Well, she's not 18 on the 24th. She will be 18. stepdaughter, and I also have a Rottweiler. He's like a big, big baby, and you probably see him on my profile. And I live a very uneventful life, but he's always on there. That's all I got.
We weren't lying when we said that she's really bad at technology. She's good at a lot of things, but technology is never one of them. I feel like this happened recently on one of our calls too. She couldn't unmute. Well, hey, why don't I just skip to question 2 for Melissa, and then when Tammy gets the unmuting situation figured out, then she can go 1 and 2. Okay. Okay. So Freezy, we call her Freezy. She's just like our little Polly Pocket Freezy Squeezy. So if you hear me calling her Freezy, that's why. So Freezy, again, I guess you already kind of answered this, but like, how did you initially start? How was that first like conversation between you and I? How'd that happen?
It was like the weirdest thing ever, to be honest. So I was scrolling on Facebook, and Cynthia, a girl that I used to work with at Boston Pizza, because I used to be a server, had this toothpaste post up for Danny. So she's like, typical toothpaste post. However, back then there was like 9 million emojis, and like I really didn't know what I was sending a message about. But at the end, I said I was interested, or I commented on it, and then this Danny broad writes me back, and I'm like, well, where's Cynthia? Like, so so Danny wrote me, and like we literally chatted for the better part of the morning about everything other than toothpaste. Landry was a brand new baby. She's like telling me everything about this baby, and I'm like, oh, I feel like I know this girl and her baby. And so anyways, I trusted her, and she said, try this toothpaste, you're gonna love it. And I'm like, well, how much is it? And she told me how much it was. I was like, And she's like, well, you can put up your own post and see if, like, how Cynthia put one up? You could put one up and see if any of your friends and family are interested. And then you can make a little bit of money, and you could buy it if you wanted to. And like, let me tell you, like, I'm not that cheap. Okay. Like I was just, it's like 20 some odd dollars. It's not like and I was like, yeah, okay, sure. I'll do it. So I put it up. It went bananas. It went wild. And I'm like writing this one being like, okay, what do I do now? What do I do now? What do I do now? What am I even doing? And Brian's at work, and he came home from work, and he was like, what is this toothpaste you're posting about? And I was like, I don't know. I met this girl, and she told me that people really want it. And so I put up a post for it, and they all want it. And he goes, look, well, how are you going to get to them? And I'm like, I don't know.
Just trusted the process. You got to just trust the process.
The process. But like, I think that's like in large part, like a good learning lesson is that like Danny and I had built such a good connection before even like putting that post up, that I trusted everything she said was Bible, and I trusted everything was going to go okay. So creating the relationships is very important.
I love it. And Tam's the whole story could not be more opposite of this. So I absolutely love that we get to hear from her now. Are we good on a different device?
Yeah. I made it. So first of all, I just want to say you do not have to know technology to do this business. Clear as day. So yes. So for those of you who don't know me, hello, my name is Tammy. I have been, over 4 years now in the business, and I was one of the first that came in under you. So it was when the world shut down, and I'm the type of person that needs to always have something to do, and I had nothing to do. At this point, I had cleaned my house. I scrubbed my baseboards with toothbrushes. My closets were reorganized, and I was just sitting on the couch going, what do I do now? And this gem shows up with this weird LumiSpa thing. That's how I got in. And so it was a crazy time. There was a whole bunch of stuff going on in my life. I used to work in the concert industry, so I took care of all the rock stars that came to town. So I was like their mom for the day, making sure they had their booze and their women and the things they needed. And then I honestly had no idea about skincare. I knew nothing about it. And I worked in an industry where I should have known about it, because my face was subject to a lot of yucky stuff in that industry. But I decided I wanted this darn LumiSpa, and that's exactly how I jumped into this business. And it has been great. ride. I will say that, and crazier by the day, but it does keep it fun. And how I did it was through your sister.
Hmm.
Yeah. So Danny's sister had put up a post, and I knew her sister. So it's always like sharing, right? It's just sharing and the power of social media to the people that it reaches. And so I bought the Lumi Spa, and then I actually went to Danny and said, okay, talk to me about this business. I need something to do. And Danny was like, oh no, I am not going to talk to her. She's crazy. And she was like quickly pushing me away to someone else. Please don't make me train her. And I was the one who was like, Danny, how do you copy and paste? What does that mean? And that's old people getting in the business. So that's my little story.
Yeah, but I was so new, and I think that's what like scared me at the time. Like I knew how to like put up something and kind of reach out to other people, but when somebody with like a really strong personality and all these questions came to me, I was like, I don't know. I just started. But again, that shows you that you just lean into the people that have had success before you. We have such a great community of mentors of we call them uplines, but they're not. They're literally our friends, and they're just here to help us. Like Tori knew, I said to her, listen, I don't know how to press record. I don't like even use a laptop. The other gals I know don't know how to do it either. Like, can you do it for us? So she's at her daughter's volleyball game in the States in Indiana. And she's like, oh yeah, I'll just bring my laptop to the gym and start it for you guys. Like it was nothing, right? So like you always have someone here to help and support you at all times. It's never a question. Okay, so you answered to how you initially started. Okay, so both of you, why after 4 years are you still on this crazy ride? Why are you still here with me? Because we know, and for those of you who are on here who have started your new skin business, I'm just going to preface with you will have a lot of people walking in and out of this door, like a lot. And some of the ones that we've had, like us three gals, we thought would never leave. And it's like, literally a knife through your chest because like Free said, we built a relationship in a morning, right? You build these relationships with people and it is like losing a friend. It is like losing a family member, even though it's not like we don't ever talk to them anymore. It's just not the same as talking to your best friends all day, which we get to do doing this business. Like we were just on a call. We have a call every Tuesday morning, 5 of us gals that we just like shoot the shit and have fun. So it's like you miss that part of getting to talk to them all day, every day. But life happens and people, you know, decide to do different things and that's totally okay. But these two have, I think, been with me the longest of everyone. So I just want to hear like why. What's made you guys stick around?
Is Melissa going to do this? We're being Canadian here. Do you want me to do it, Melissa, or you want to do it?
I'll go. Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, so what keeps me around? Well, obviously the community of it keeps me around. Like you said, I mean, it is a revolving door. People are in, people are out. And it is like a roller coaster because like it's so hard for you to like not take it personally when this doesn't play out the way people want it to. And it could be for various reasons. It could be their commitment, it could be their work ethic, it could just not be the right time in their life. But you like it weighs on you because you've almost like you've given them a gift and it's like they're giving it back. And you're like, oh, you know. So it can get hard, but like there's so many of us, like Danny said, that are in the same boat and we've all experienced it and we can all lift each other up when those things happen. So yeah, community is a big part of it. And another is like having worked in a, you know, what do you call it? Like a 9-to-5 or a desk job. I couldn't even fathom like, you know, I was a salaried employee when I worked in insurance. So not capped every year, it would go up maybe a little bit, but like my efforts were never reflective in my pay. My pay was set and this is how much. And I was someone that was there super late, like every day trying to stay on top of things and get ahead of this and that and helping people, trained people, did a bunch of stuff and it was never ever recognized in my pay. So like, I love that. Like if I want to hustle my ass, I can make so much money and no one's going to tell me I can't. Like I can fill every block I want. So I just love the freedom that it gives and I love the people that it brought.
Love that.
Yeah, I feel that too, 100%. Like community is huge for this. And honestly, I think like I'm too far in now to ever leave. Like you make your home. And I also believe that the longer you stay with a company, the more your clients trust you. They find trust in that, and they find support in that. Like, if you jump around from company to company to company, it's like, well, how long are they going to be there? Well, how long are they going to be there? And so, with it being over 4 years now, I've got tons of people who were with me from the beginning and watched me grow into who I am, because I knew nothing. And I learned everything in front of a camera, in front of people. And as I learned, I shared that. So it was a great community to come into in a time when the world just didn't have community. It gave me something to learn, because I always want to learn. I never want to stop growing that way. I want to learn. I always want to know new things. I love teaching. I love teaching. I could never be a teacher because kids would drive me crazy, but I love teaching.
The woman who has 5 kids. I love it.
Right? Go to daycare. But when I get to teach people, how to help them feel better about themselves, like, there's a joy inside of me unlike anything. It's like butterflies almost. Like, I'm so happy when people send me messages that feeling better. Oh my God, this did this and this did this. So, I mean, that's a huge piece of it too. But I'm going to be so blunt about it. And there are things we're not allowed to talk about. 100% I am money driven. And in my previous job, yes, I worked in the concert industry. It was a cool job. Like, you talk about sitting around with rock stars all day and shooting the shit. That's what I did. But I had a day pay. It was capped. This is how much money you're going to make today. You want to work 5 hours in the day? You got it. You want to work 18 hours? This is still your pay. In this, there is no limit to what I am capable of, what I can do, and what the company is willing to pay. And that for me is huge. When I am running a home, I'm paying for a car, I'm paying all the bills of my home, my food, my social, and 5 kids and 2 giant Bernese mountain dogs. Yes, you, that eat me out of house and home. It is nonstop in this house, and this pays for it all. So this is a big driving factor for me. What other job is going to do that and allow me to do it from the comfort of my home, not fighting traffic every morning?
Amen. I love it. I love it. Okay. For me, something that I never even, like, when I started this, travel was not in my brain. I didn't even think about the option to travel. My husband and I did not have the extra funds to travel. Like, we lived in overdraft. Like, we always joke that we did not marry for money because neither of us had it. We married for love. And then we always said that in our next life, we were going to marry each other again, but have like a rich boyfriend and girlfriend on the side. Because we just wanted to know what it felt like to, like, not struggle every single day, because we truly did. Like, I would get, like $20 a day from a parent in the daycare, and I'd be like, here, like, put a little bit of gas in your car. Like, I felt good doing that. That's the most I could do. So travel, that was not even a thing. It was just trying to make ends meet. Now, like I said, Paris will be our 13th earned trip, which is insanity to me. You guys, the last trip that him and I went on with the company was to Dubai and Abu Dhabi about 5 or 6 months ago. Okay. That's like just not even like in the realm of this universe. Like, it's just so crazy. But that is possible. It's possible for everyone. Okay. So I want to know, because both of these gals have been on multiple trips as well. I want to just know, like, which was your favorite and why?
I think we're probably like in agreement of which one our favorite is. But so yeah, I've earned why I couldn't go because of like COVID stuff. And then Mexico twice, and cruise Jamaica. I would say Xscaret was my favorite because there's just so much to do. But there's something about listen, like, we went to Jamaica, and you don't know a hurricane until you're on Jamaica with a hurricane. That was wild.
Yeah, that was.
But there was something about it. I really loved that. I had never been there before, and I really loved the people of Jamaica. I loved, like, their easy flowing, like, they're good people, and they love to have a good chat, and they're just like, I don't know. I loved the Jamaican people, but I loved Xscaret just for what it had to offer and how much we could do.
Yeah, I feel that. I did love Xcaret. The last one was actually struggled with thinking about this. I'm like, what was my favorite? Like, because we are treated like such royalty and it's out of my realm. I'm just like some little girl that grew up in a small town in a middle class family. So it's like, I don't know why you're treating me like this. Like you have to get used to it. But I did, the more I thought about it, the more I felt like I have to say Hawaii. And because my life had kind of blown up at that time, remember that freeze? My life just went crazy. All that madness came out. And I just took this business and I grabbed on it and I'm like, nope, I'm not going down with this. I am not. And I jumped into this business full force. And I said, I'm going to earn this damn trip. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to Hawaii. And then I went on a mad rush. And that was my very first trip I ever earned, which was so cool. And then because of the great things this company does have to offer, we are able to extend and just pay the extra. And so I was able to take a plane to Maui, live in a van for a week, just like sleep on the beach with the back of the van doors open, watch the surfers at 4 a.m. and scuba and swim with turtles, like the most amazing experience. And I'm a water person. So Hawaii was a big one for me because I don't think I would ever do that trip. The cost of the trip, the time of the trip. So I think Hawaii was huge because I know how much it costs to go there. It's expensive. I mean, you can't even afford to eat at McDonald's as a regular person there. It's so expensive. So that's got to probably be my top.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say like the ones that you were trying to think of and you guys thought it would be the same because for me, I 100% am like lay by the pool, all inclusive. Like I love to know that I don't have to like buy anything, I don't have to worry about anything. But oddly enough, this was actually a trip that people on here are going to think I'm crazy that I wasn't excited for. And my husband and I were like, oh gosh, do we even go? Because we have to have childcare and this and that. We're very blessed. My dad is amazing, watching our little guy. But it was actually Switzerland that like we were not jacked about because we were like, we're just not in really that point of our lives that like we care to go sightseeing and see different things. We'd rather just honestly like chill at the pool. And I would go back there in a heartbeat. It was incredible. Like I have the best memories from Switzerland. So weirdly enough, like I said, there's just opportunities that you never think that you could ever have that Nu Skin will provide for you if you just help other people. And that's what I think I love too. Like their mission statement is servant leadership. You literally help other people and you're rewarded for it. Where again, in other jobs, like, yes, you can help other people, but you're not rewarded in these kind of ways. Okay. So I think we kind of already answered like your favorite thing was kind of into like, why are you still doing the business? So we're just going to end with one piece of advice that you would have for someone thinking about starting, who's like teetering back and forth. I don't know. Should I do it? Should I not do it? What would your advice to that person be if they're on this call right now, if they're watching later? What do you think?
Well, first things first, I would say do it because you get to work with us. Like, what the hell? But in way of like advice, like once you get into it or when you start, because like a lot of the times, like people get in their own head and that's why they back out of it really quickly. So like I am notorious for this. So when you said like think of something like advice, if I had the advice of like comparison is like the thief of all joy. It really is. And we're all on our own journey and we all do things differently and we're all different people. So I can't compare myself to Tammy because we are very different. I can't compare myself to Danny because Danny does a lot of things differently too. I can only compete with myself and stop comparing myself to other people. And when I stay in my own lane and I don't listen to all the like all the noise around me, I do so much better. I get confused, I get off track, I get fixated on what other people are doing, the right, the wrong. If you just do what feels good to you, what you feel comfortable with, that's not to say you don't have to come out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you do, and that's still difficult for me. But just don't compare because just because you're not doing it the same way as someone does not mean it's not right.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. And I will add to that because I'm going to kind of be on the same thing. The first thing you need to know when you're starting, it is scary. But the only thing that is scary is before you put the post up. It's the fear you create before you hit post. Once you hit post, we all got our arms around you and we're there. We got you. And if you fall or if you get scared, we're there to pick you up 100%. So it's the buildup of what you create in your head. I don't know. What if people say this? We create so many lies and stories in our head that scare us into moving to the next step of our life. And this is human programming. Your subconscious is trying to stop you. Your ego wants you to stay put. Everything inside of you wants to go against that. And so if you're scared, okay, welcome to the team. I was petrified. Melissa was scared. Danny was petrified as well. She didn't even want to come back and touch it again after she did her first post. She was still shaking 3 weeks later, right? We're all scared when we start. And the thing is that you just have to know that when you get in the right company, and this is the truth, the right company, you'll have the right group of people around you, you will feel supported, and that fear will dissipate.
I love that. And when you said that, it's so true, because I did put up that first post. I was still doing the daycare at that time. I put up that first post, and you guys, it went really well. Like, I was like, holy smokes. I was kind of like freezing. What am I doing? And then Tammy put up hers and it really went well. And I was like, with mine, I didn't know what was going on. So for me not to continue on after that first post, because I didn't, it was months later that I had to shut down the daycare because of COVID. No one was sending their kids, and rightfully so. And that's when I was like, man, maybe I gotta try that toothpaste thing again. Like it went well the first time. Maybe it's not a one-hit wonder, but I'll tell you, my thing was, I cared so much, and this has been my entire existence up until, honestly, my husband and Nu Skin combined, because he does not care what anyone thinks at all. And I've always cared about what others thought, always. I was letting everyone else's judgment of, oh my God, did she really just put toothpaste up on Facebook? Like, she must be desperate for money right now. Her and Matt must really be struggling. Like, how embarrassing. You guys, I had people that were in my wedding party actually go on to Facebook and go live and mock me, like pretend to be me in videos, pretending like they were holding like random objects, pretending they were a Lumi Spa, and like, oh my gosh, this is just the best facial cleanser, and going on like girls in my wedding party. Okay. So if someone who like that typically would it would end me. Like, I would have shut my Facebook down. I would never have shown my face again. But I saw what the vision ahead was and how this could help my baby and my husband and myself. And it's even helped my parents. I've been able to give back to my dad, who gave to me when he had nothing. Like, that man gave me so much when he had nothing, and I've been able to shower him with things. So you really have to not care what nosy neighbor Nancy down the street thinks about you putting up toothpaste or selling tanner or whatever, because Nancy isn't putting food on your kid's plate. She's not putting a roof over your head and paying your bills. So you have to block out what other people think, because it will literally take you down. So now I always just think, like my husband has said it before to me, I think it's like other people's opinions of you are none of your business. And I truly tell myself that every single day, because I know, and they say actually, like, the people that cheer you on the most are the ones that you don't even know. And it's so true. Like, I put up that first post, it was none of my own family, friends, anyone that I really even knew that purchased from me. They were like people that I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to her in years. So sometimes it's complete strangers. So just know that you can do this regardless of all the outside distractions. Okay. So just remember why you're doing it. Have a really solid why. And that will just carry you through those really, really tough times when, the world decides to get in the way, but you won't let it. Okay. So again, thank you for being here. If you have any questions for myself, for Melissa, for Tammy, I know we are all open books. You can write them. And this is going to be recorded and put into Dream Team. It's one of our training pages. You can always go in there. You can write comments underneath. You can message us. We are all open books at all times, and we would love, love, love to help anyone, just like we were helped. And that's why we are still here today. Okay. Do you guys have anything else to say, or are we Good to go. Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming on. We love you all. Thank you. Bye.